So we're just walking outside Nissan Stadium now, and we have two special guests to talk about the match with FC Tokyo today. So please introduce yourself. Who are you?
Edelyn.
And?
I'm Thomas. I am the FC Tokyo Kai Guys main account runner.
Right, so the match finished 2-1. So the goals in the first half. Yeah.
I thought the first half was quite open. Like, we were really attacking you down the right a lot. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as the game started, 8 minutes in, you get the 1-0. I'm like, oh, here we go again. So it was good to see that the game didn't pan out that way. I think like the first half, like we got really lucky with the goal. I don't know. Well, in my opinion, obviously it was a good goal, but upon review of that, it did look like Diego did cause some ruckus on the build-up.
Yeah, so that was a little bit like for us. Obviously, we were really happy when we scored so quickly, and as you said, it's like, okay, it's that time again. But that very, very quickly got cancelled out. I think about 4 minutes or something like that. So then it opened up. But I noticed, like, of the FC Tokyo players, I was actually really happy when Adalton went off, because he's your best defender.
Honestly, like, I thought Adalton had a really troubled game. He basically, he was really, really slow with his touches. And, his defensive capabilities are great, but going forward, his touches were like either too heavy or, he's putting them out of play. Okay, get off. Yeah, and I thought him going off, him for Nagai, I didn't think it was the right move to make. And, with Aoki was already on a yellow, and you had Matsuki also on a yellow, I don't think it was the right substitution to make to begin with. The ref today, I've got a lot of complaints about him. I think we both do. But it was really like early on, he seemed very card happy, giving Aoki his yellow, Matsuki in 22 seconds. I thought, I just didn't know what we were thinking with that substitution. I think maybe we're just trying to get a little bit more pressure and pace that Nagai brings into the game. But it wasn't working out in that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I've noticed Yamamoto for a long time. I would used to say that he was one of my least favorite refs, but I kind of warmed to him a little bit more recently, because I think he's he's a little bit, he's equal in his bias against the biased team. So he as you say, like he's a referee that I feel that can change the match. There's some referees you don't notice, but if it's Nishimura or Yamamoto, it's going to be their match. They're going to do something in that match that will decide it one way or the other, and you might be lucky or you might not. And so it could have, like, I was looking actually at 90 minutes. I looked at the statistics to see how we were doing, and you were leading like 8-6 on shots on goal, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. And then as I was holding it, shots were coming in. I was holding my phone and looking at Google, and Google was updating in real time, like within a second of a shot on goal. And we ended, like, I think it was 10-6. We had like 4 shots on goal in the last 2 or 3.
It was quite nervous for me to watch that. I mean, I keep coming back here was always a sore point for me. Today, this is my third fixture, or coming to this fixture. First time we've actually scored a goal. We've been, prior to today, we were outscored 11-0. So to make it 13-1, it's like, all right, I'll take that. Yamamoto, like, some of the decisions he was making, I did not understand, like on both sides of it. There were one example that instantly comes to mind is like when Slowick and I think it was Lopez had their little tussle in the box.
Yes.
And Slowick, went out at him a little bit, but there's a lot of flopping going on there. It seemed that Yamamoto was playing advantage, and then he called it back for something. I wasn't sure what. Like as soon as Slowick threw the ball out, he gave advantage. He's signaling the advantage, and then he gave a foul against us, or he was calling it for Lopez going down, and then gave a drop ball to you guys. So I'm like, this kind of decision making was not just a one-off. It was happening throughout the game, and it was really, our first half. I say our first half. I mean the game's first half. It was really, really pressing from both sides, and it was really great open playing football. Like I was really loving it, and every time there was a stoppage in play, it was because of one of those bizarre calls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't feel confident that even in the last 10 minutes, there wouldn't be an equalizer. It was just a little bit of press, because that's the worst when you score early on the second half and keep that lead for the whole 45 minutes. That's some of the most nervy football. So yeah, it was a good match. I think probably a draw could have been fair. But we really started to get more confidence, and I think our substitutions were just making things better. I think that's right. As I said, like Adalton going off, I felt a little bit more confident that even though, as you say, he wasn't making the most of all the chances he had, he was definitely running up both ends of the field. So it's very good. Okay.
Yeah, defensively, I think Adalton had a decent first half, but on the attack, he was misplacing the balls too much. I agree with you on the substitutions. I think Albert, he got them right. Usually, in the game against Hiroshima, he brought in some key changes at halftime, and those two substitutions ended up bringing in the goals. So substitutions like that, usually pay off. But today, we had, like I mentioned, Aoki was on a yellow, Matsuki was on a yellow. You don't know what this ref is thinking, and I don't think Albert really thought about that as well when he was making the substitution. I think he was trying to just, get a little bit more pace up front and hope for that to, break you guys. But that early goal, really made a difference in our game plan. Yeah. And, unfortunately, it didn't work for us with the later subs as well. We kept Matsuki on, and he eventually saw a second yellow. Unfortunately for him, I think he's a young player, right? He's going to learn from something like that. You're going to get those kind of situations where, you're going to dive into a tackle and you're on a yellow, not realizing it at the time, right? And I think that's just what's going to happen with him today.
I just want to tell him what I'm allergic about.
Oh, what is it? Go
ahead.
Peanuts. Peanuts. Oh, you're alert. Okay. Well, a random comment from the 6-year-old.
No. Well, on the floor, there's lots of nuts on the floor as well. Yeah, we're now walking towards Shin Yokohama Station, and there's so many little kind of nuts on the floor. Okay, so let me ask you one question. So, what did you think today? Did you have a fun time watching the match today?
Yes.
Yes. So you like to come again? Yes. That's a vigorous nodding there that didn't make it. So I think we probably...
Tokyo lose.
That's right. And why did they lose today?
I don't know.
Yeah, me too. No, we had a good... Well, on the Marinos side, we enjoyed our match today. And I was really laughing at your comment that it looked like a Jedi wedding, because I was trying to think of words that would describe the but came to my mind. It was the 30th anniversary today of the club, so they put on some light shows, and they had some random smoke at the start of the match. And
was it Marinosuke or Marinos-kun who was conducting the fire or something?
Yeah. So he was given his flag, and to me it looked like it was very close to the flames, and I was wondering if the flames and actually catch the flag, it would actually have been quite spectacular.
I thought the pre-match ceremonies were incredible. Like having like the full orchestra there to play the teams on was like. I was just thinking, like, imagine if that was 2019. You know, when we had our title bout.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would have just been a lot more epic. But you know, still today, yeah, the pre-match. Speech, the light show, the fire. Yeah, it was quite incredible. I have to give you guys props for that.
Yeah, that was good. It was a.
The light show looked like lasers.
That's right. There were lasers there too, and fire. So that's what we want: lasers, fire, and football, and
a Jedi wedding.
And a Jedi wedding. Okay, so I'm going to wind up now, and I hope everybody enjoyed our little chat on the way back from the match.